there. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome along to the fabulous Qatar Olympic and Sports Museum, this wonderful new facility here in Doha for our first press conference of the Wanda Diamond League season ahead of the Ooredoo Doha meeting tomorrow. We will effectively have two press conferences for you this morning. We already have our star guests lined up for our second one. I can see Mutaz and Gianmarco in the audience, and please do ask a question if you feel the opportunity. But we're going to start off with this very select trio I'm delighted to welcome to Doha today. We have Dina Smith, fastest British woman in history, reigning world champion at 200 metres, European champion at 100 and 200. Shaunae Miller-Uibo, two-time Olympic champion at 400 metres from Rio and Tokyo, a world silver medalist and 4 times the Wanda Diamond League champion, and Mondo Duplantis, who it would be easier to say what he isn't currently the champion of, but I will anyway, world record holder, Olympic, world indoor, European and European indoor champion, and the reigning world Diamond League, Wanda Diamond League champion. It's fantastic to have you all here. I'm British, so is Dina. We're very rude, so we'll start. You ran a 400 metres this year, and then a 300 metres. The 300 metres, I sense, went slightly better than the 400 metres.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you very much for having me. So I started my season with a 400 and then a 300, and obviously we're now coming down to 2. The 400 was an incredibly long way. It was not the most enjoyable thing. Obviously, Shaunae's amazing and far more used to it, and I was like, yeah, this is something I will not be doing in the future. But the 300 was a lot of fun, and obviously I'm just so excited to be back where I belong at 2.
Absolutely. Now, we are very, very early stages of what is potentially going to be a hugely busy season for you. How have you managed to sort of compartmentalise the fact that it's a crazy schedule, or could potentially be a crazy schedule?
Yeah, definitely for British athletes, it's the busiest season we've ever had. We've got a World Championships, and then we've got to fly home for a home Commonwealth Games, and then again a week later we have the European Championships in Munich. And because I hold 4 titles across those ones, I'm definitely going to be very busy. And with it being a home Commonwealth Games as well, we always want to go and represent England incredibly well. So for me, I'm focusing first and foremost on the World Championships and performing well there, and then we will very much take everything in our stride, but I do aim to be performing at my best at all 3. So hopefully a very busy and exciting season.
Okay, and we have our virtual media zone open as well. And I've got a question from the Times, which has come in. They ask, the 100 and 200 metres seems to be getting faster every year. And the big question that certainly being asked in the British press, I'm not sure if that's been reflected in the world press, is about the current women's 100 metre world record potentially going this year. How much of a possibility do you think that is?
Well, I always think that anything's possible, and as you said, people have got faster year on year. It's been amazing to be part of such an incredible group of women running so quickly at the moment, and it's exciting every single race that you line up in. And yeah, I would honestly never say never, so we'll have to wait and see.
Thank you very much indeed for now. Our 400 metre specialist, Shaunae Miller-Uibo, and she's about 400 metres away from me down the far end of the table. Lovely to have you here in Doha. Welcome along.
Thank you.
For a reluctant indoor competitor, your indoors went rather well, didn't it?
Yeah, I would think so. We opened and closed our season at the World Champs, and I don't think I can complain walking away with the gold medal.
And like Dina, a very busy season potentially for you. Have you already worked out, A, how you're going to approach it, and B, exactly how you're going to tackle it?
My coach and I were obviously taking things one step at a time. We're just, basically the main thing is just making sure that we're training well, and we're making the decisions as we go. But for right now, the main goal for us is in Eugene, to try and take home the title, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But like I said, everything's going really well in training right now, and we're excited to see.
Talking of Eugene, I mean, it's an incredible facility, Hayward Field, and I think I'm right in saying that last year you opened your season with a very quick time, 49 and chips. It must be a place you quite enjoy running.
It was my first time competing back there after the renovations, and it's a pretty quick track, obviously, and I'm expecting to see some really fast times there at both the Diamond League and the World Championship. So I'm excited for it. Like I said, everything's going really well, and I think the competition's going to be really fast.
Excellent, thank you. Well, welcome along, and I'm sure we'll have some questions from the public and the press a little bit later. Mondo, Shaunae mentioned Belgrade. That was quite a stupendous competition, and certainly as a fan, I mean, I was working, but as a fan, sitting about 5 metres away, it was just an incredible experience. Just take me through that world record jump. The stadium is yours, all the cameras in the world are pointing at you, and you're standing at the end of the runway. What goes through the head of Mondo Duplantis?
Yeah, I think it was one of these situations where, I'm not usually surprised by myself, because I usually, expect really, really great things out of myself. I have high expectations going into any competition, but I felt like in that particular situation, it was such a long competition, and I was kind of tired towards the end there, because it was, I'd been out there for 3.5, 4 hours or so, and so, it was getting to the point to where I didn't know if I was fresh enough to be able to, do a jump like 620. So, really, I think it was one of these situations where if I didn't have the crowd just staring only at me, and I have all the adrenaline that I did, then I don't know if I'd have been able to do it. But yeah, it was one of the few times where I'm falling onto the mat, and I'm actually kind of genuinely surprised that I did what I just did. So it was I don't know, how do you explain one of those kind of feelings? But it was it was pretty surreal.
Well, you must have had some energy left, because not only did you break the world record for the pole vault, but you nearly broke the world record for the high jump when you came off the mat and went straight over the top of the photographers. Were you aware there were people actually there?
I was aware a split second before it happened, but I wasn't thinking about it before the jump. I wasn't if I make this, there's going to be photographers right there, so I got to do a nice little leap over them. It was more just one of these things, instinctual things that just kind of happened. I just was getting off the pit, and there's I want to celebrate. I want to do my little thing, and then there's people in my way, so the only way for me to do it is just to jump over them.
Yeah, I think I might ask the boys if you've got potential.
Yeah.
You also mentioned the word expectation in your first answer there. It's a word I've got written down on my script here. I know you expect great things from yourself, but how tough is it that you know that everybody else is expecting those great achievements as well?
Yeah, I mean, It can be tough at times. I try not to think about it too much, especially because I understand, like, I understand the sport, and I know that it's really hard, and I know that I'm not going to be able to break a world record every day, even though, people do expect that out of me sometimes. But, I don't know. It's just one of these things that, you get used to over the past year or two that, it's just kind of part of the game at this point. When you go out there and you break a few world records, people just kind of, they want it all the time out of you. But, I go out there and I give it 110% every time I'm out on the track, and that's basically all I can do.
And I'm fortunate enough to have met your family. I mean, probably not the greatest phrase for a pole vaulter, but I take it they keep you grounded.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for anybody that doesn't know, my parents are my coaches. My mom does the physical training side of things, and my father is the technical coach. And, it's one of these relationships where I think we don't, it's not always like we think about it as world records and such like that. We're just trying to, be the best versions of ourselves, and we have a really good time, we're really starting to just enjoy the process and the journey of this whole thing. And, the past few years have been just kind of a dream, the way, the results and everything have kind of took place. And, I think, we're just, really enjoying going out and competing and, being on the stage that we're at.
Well, excellent. Thank you. Best of luck tomorrow. Right. There are some microphones in the audience, so if you could wait for the microphone to get to you. But do we have any questions from the floor, please? Well, while you're thinking, I shall carry on. I've got another question here for Dina. This is from the Daily Mail. We're going through the British papers at the moment. They want to know, have you changed anything about your training setup over the winter?
No. I was trying to think. No, I haven't changed anything about my training setup. Last year was a bit frustrating to have picked up a relatively minor injury at a very inconvenient time in the season, very inconvenient time in the Olympic cycle. But we were very confident that I was in a great place coming into that, and so it wouldn't have made sense to change anything, just review what happened and move forward, and just make sure that I'm faster last year than I was. Faster than last year. So yeah.
I wasn't going to mention the injury because it was obviously doubly painful physically and mentally, but you have brought it up. I mean, how are you? Have you recovered yourself? Are you Dina Asher-Smith again?
Yeah, I'm fine. It was a bit annoying because a few weeks later I was kind of almost back in PB shape for like the Diamond League finals and stuff. But again, it was just very annoying timing, but it doesn't really change anything about, the kind of form that I was in, the kind of form that I have been in, the amount of improvements that I've actually made as an athlete since I was running last time in Doha in 2019. So I'm just really excited to kind of start running tomorrow, continue the Diamond League season, obviously get to the business end of the season as well when you're in peak shape, and it'll be fun to just kind of showcase the work that we've been doing over the past 3 years.
That is a question that's literally just come in from the Daily Telegraph as well, which you've physically just answered. Shaunae, if I could ask you about your winter training, potentially with such a busy schedule, have you had to change the way you've approached your training this year?
Not so much. We had to take things a little bit easier coming in. Obviously, we were coming back from an injury after Tokyo, and so Coach took a little bit of time with bringing me back into the normal schedule with training, but we've stepped it up throughout, and we picked up a few little knickknacks here and there, but it's a part of sports. We've been making our way through it, and training has been going really well, and we're expecting great things this year, and we'll see what we can come from it.
The women's 100 is a really hot event. Obviously, with this man here, the pole vault is always a very hot event. Where do you rate women's 400-meter running at the moment?
I think the women's 400 is a pretty hot event right now. Just to make the Olympic final last year, everyone had to run sub 50. So, it's pretty hot, and I think everyone's bringing out their A game, and I'm expecting it to continue to push forward. And I think the ladies that are coming up right now are exceptional, and I think the 400 is gonna go really far real soon.
And Mondo, the camaraderie between pole vaulters is a sort of well-known thing. Is it as strong as it's always been, bearing in mind you've been so dominant over the past 18 months, 2 years?
Like, has it changed since then?
Yeah, I mean, everybody smiles and they give you a clap when you're on the runway, but, I'm assuming, it must hurt them a bit that they just can't compete with you at this moment in time.
I guess that's a question for them, not me. but no, I mean, I think it's one of these situations where, especially in like, particularly our event, it's just like, at the end of the day, you're almost not really competing against each other. You're kind of just competing against yourself in the bar stuff. Because like it's not like a sprint where like these two are like actually competing against each other. Like whatever the other one does like really matters to their result. For us, it's like even if whether it's Chris or Sam or whoever makes or misses that bar, like I still have to go make that bar. Mm-hmm. So like it's still just up to me and getting over that bar at the end of the day. So it's kind of like it's a different event in that kind of way. So I think that's why it's a little bit easier as far as like the camaraderie side of things, and we're out there for like a super long time, so that also makes a difference.
Dina, Shaunae mentioned Eugene, very much track town, athletics, track and field centre of the USA. Do you have a feeling that Birmingham potentially is going to become track and field centre of the UK, potentially with thoughts of what's happening in London?
Perhaps. I mean, we've obviously got a really nice new stadium in Birmingham, which I'll be fortunate enough to try out next week. I'm very excited for that and very excited for the Commonwealth Games. But perhaps I always think that London is the centre of sport in the UK, and it would be amazing to kind of have a base and really use the London Stadium, particularly as it is the Olympic Stadium. It's where the Anniversary Games has been, and obviously all the other major sports have their base in London. But Birmingham is a beautiful stadium, and the Birmingham Diamond League is very much a staple of the Diamond League calendar as well. So, yeah.
And slightly off the beaten track, I mean, London has been in the news this week, athletics-wise, with Crystal Palace being used as one of the centres for the Games, which has been a sort of celebrity athletics sporting event. As an athlete, have you enjoyed watching celebrities try your sport?
I have to admit, I do not know what you're talking about. So I was like, has London been in the press? Crystal Palace what? But I mean, obviously any kind of profile for track and field is good, and especially in the UK. There's so many incredibly popular sports in the UK, and the market is so saturated for sports. So if the profile track and field is being raised, I'm all for it, but I have to apologise. I've been very much focused on Doha and kind of coming here, so I probably missed it in my little travel schedule. So yeah.
Questions just come in from ITV. Has Dina watched the game? Oh no, we're not.
Sorry, ITV. Bit awkward.
Right. Has anybody come up with a question? Yes, we have a question in the middle there. Lady in the pink blouse.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Raphael Pelletier, AFP. This is a question to Mondo. Obviously, I'm guessing your goal this season is gold at the World Championship. How are you approaching that?
Yeah, I guess that's pretty right. I mean, I think that as far as for pole vaulting and what I do, that it's a really technical event, and it's really important to compete and go out there and try to get a rhythm and timing of your jumping. So gonna have a pretty full schedule, 4 or 5 meets or so before the World Championships, and so really I'm just taking it meet at a time, trying to gather as much information, because and what I'm doing, it's it comes down to these little tiny margins. So I'm just trying to get everything in the right place for when it comes time to Eugene and the World Championships, to make sure that when the bar is at that gold medal height, I'm on the right pole, right grip, right run, all those little things that add up to to those kind of jumps. So yeah, World Championships, that's kind of the thing that I'm missing right now as far as the accolades. So I want to complete the set. So that's pretty much the main focus.
Thank you very much. Questions coming from The Guardian, which I'm going to ask Shaunae and Dina, if I can. The question is, are you expecting to come in and run faster in your big season opener tomorrow than you would have done, given that the Worlds is only 2 months away? Shaunae, if you go first. What are you expecting tomorrow from yourself?
Well, it's not my season opener, but I'm expecting just to run well tomorrow. You know, the main thing is, you know, we're trying new race models, and we're trying to find that perfect one for Eugene that we can go sub 48. But for right now, it's just testing things out and, you know, getting a little bit familiar with it. But I'm expecting still fast times. But overall, I'm just looking for a great competition with the girls and just getting a feel of the competition.
Yes, I should have said Diamond League opener. Apologies for that. Dina, how about yourself? I mean, you have got a major competition coming up. It's on the horizon. What are you expecting tomorrow?
Honestly, I'm just expecting to go out there and perform really well and put together a good race model. I think that's always the wisest thing to do when you're early in the season. I think even if you think back to last year when the season opener for me was Gateshead in the pouring rain, if you kind of have expectations of times sometimes early on, you're not always fulfilled for reasons that are outside your control. So for me, you've just got to go and make sure you get your race right and make sure you're focused and you execute. And yeah, sometimes that results in a fast time and sometimes other stuff means that it doesn't, but yeah, as long as it all goes together well, your coach is happy and it's all moving in the right direction, then that's a great day.
Mondo, I often get the impression that track athletes know pretty much where they are when they come into a big event, a big race like tomorrow. Is that the same for field athletes, the same for pole vaulters? You got a fair idea where you're going to be? I mean, of course, I realise it's a hugely technical event and anything can happen, but are you pretty happy with where you are right now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in good shape. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is one of those kind of events where like it can take some getting used to in the beginning of the season. But I feel like as far as like training's been going, I've been jumping really well. It's a little bit different when you get to outdoor season because you know you have the weather kind of to take in, and so you know that can change things a little bit. It's a little bit harder to find some consistency at times, but. Other than that, yeah, I feel like I'm in, you know, good enough shape to do good things.
You nearly said it, didn't you?
No.
You nearly said the next height.
No, but yeah, I don't know if anybody's jumped 6 meters in Qatar. Maybe not. I don't know. I need a fact check. Nobody. Yeah. Well then, so somebody needs to do it. Somebody needs to, yeah. Soon.
You heard it here first. Right. Any more from the floor? Yes, we have a question down the front here.
Stuart from England. A question for Dina. I'm probably a traditionalist. I like the way the 2019 season finished with the Diamond League final and then the World Championship. How does it affect you that the World Championship is so much earlier this year?
Honestly, I feel like the World Championship being so much earlier doesn't necessarily affect the season for me like that, simply because the World Championships are focused, so whenever the date is, that's when you work back from. And quite simply, it's your job to be in shape for the major event of the year, so whenever that is, that's when I want to perform. But if you're speaking more broadly to the question of whether you preferred the Diamond League final being before the World Championships, personally I did. I think that it made for a better quality of a Diamond League final because it makes it more exciting, it's more indicative of what might happen at the World Championships, it's a good kind of like adrenaline lift before a World Championships, and you can kind of see, even if it's successful, great. If it's not successful, then you can really use that kind of high profile, high adrenaline and meaningful event to drive forward into a good major championships. And so, yeah, that would be very exciting, but I don't know whether that's feasible for our sport, but I did prefer, I liked the Diamond League final being in front of the major championships, so, yeah.
Mike's just on the way.
Abdullah Miller, director of the Olympic Sports Museum. I'm just going back to the last Olympic Games. How was it felt that competing in the Olympic without spectators?
It was a little bit different. You know, I'm someone that feeds off of the crowd. That's where I get a little bit of my energy boost, and so it did feel a little bit more like training, but I guess I was fortunate enough that my 400 was more towards the ending of the track schedule, and I had a lot of the athletes come out to support. So just being able to hear a little bit of people cheering, I think it was good. But yeah, it was definitely a different feeling, but I'm definitely ready for the crowd to be back.
Thank you very much indeed. Are we all done? Well, thank you all three so much. Good luck tomorrow. It's great that the Diamond League is back with such a strong field, just at the press conferences, let alone on the track and in the field. Good luck tomorrow, and see you there. Thank you. Don't forget we have our next one coming up very shortly.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for waiting, ladies and gentlemen, here in the venue, and those of you watching the live stream. Apologies from Abderrahman Samba, who unfortunately can't make it this morning, so we are blessed to have a high-jumping masterclass press conference from our two joint Olympic champions, Gianmarco Tamberi and Mutaz Barshim, as well as being the Olympic gold medalist. Gianmarco is the Wanda Diamond League champion, and Mutaz, of course, our Diamond League champion from 2017. So, gentlemen, very much going to concentrate on your specialist sport, but before we get to that, I just wanted to pick up on a couple of other sports that I've seen you participating in pre this event. Gianmarco, you played in the NBA All-Star game, which must have been the most extraordinary experience.
Yeah, good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. About NBA celebrity game, it's just a dream comes true. You know what I mean? After the Olympic gold medal, I never think it would be possible to have a game, that feeling of joy and happiness. And I always loved basketball, and when they called me to go there and to play that game, I looked like a baby when you give him candies. I was really happy, and I enjoyed every single second in that floor. It was amazing. Now I'm waiting for the call for Boston Celtics.
I love the moment you posted on one of your social media accounts. There's basically a shot comes in from quite a long way out. I think it was a three-point attempt. It hits the backboard, and you appear from nowhere, and you take this rebound, and you virtually dunk the ball in. That must have also been an extraordinary moment.
That's what high jumper does, jumping. So I just saw that ball, it goes out of the basket, and I try to take that. I was thinking, it's my moment. If I don't do it now, it's my moment. So everything goes well, and that dunk traveled around all the world. It's just amazing. 2 days after, when I met Stephen Curry and I was asking him a picture, he looked at me and say, "Oh, you are the man of the dunking." I say, "What?" You know who I am? That was just amazing, you know. And really, I will never forget that moment.
It's a great moment. If you haven't seen it, I do urge you to go onto Gianmarco's social media accounts and take a look. Quick questions come in from YouTube. Asking about your shaving habits. Where are we with the Tamberi razor at the moment?
Yeah, I'm becoming wiser year by year. I'm more wise, so no, I'm joking. I don't know about my beard. Last year I didn't shave my half beard in the Olympics, but it doesn't mean I will never do it again. It's something that if I feel that I have to push myself over something, I will always think about it. So it's not finished. It will never finish.
I was going to say watch this space, but watch this face might be a better description. Mutaz, we mentioned other sports with Gianmarco. Your other sport I'm interested in was football. Of course, Doha is staging that tiny little competition at the end of the year, the World Cup. And I saw a little promo video of you playing some football on the beach, a bit of keepy-uppy. What are your football skills like?
First of all, good morning, everyone. Definitely, you just mentioned that FIFA World Cup is coming to Doha, this year. So definitely, for me, just like it's home, so I definitely have to be a part of this and support as much as possible. In terms of football skills, I'm just honest, I'm very bad. I'm very bad. I support, my brother, my friends. Oh, no, definitely not. I'm very bad, but I enjoy it. So for me, it's nice to do something outside my actual event, and just for the enjoyment of it. So yeah, I picked up some football, some golfing, and a few stuff on the side.
Having not been to Doha for 12 months and arriving yesterday, I mean, you sense that something special is happening here at the end of the year. The decorations are up. There are footballs outside my hotel. What is the feeling for a Qatari about Football World Cup being here?
I mean, it's a celebration. It's a sports festival, a celebration. It's like, I don't know actually what's big, the Olympics. For me, definitely the Olympics, but it's arguably FIFA or the Olympics, the World Cup. But I mean, it's the same scale when it comes to people want to go out there and literally there is no rules. We out there enjoying ourselves, supporting. People come from everywhere. Doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. You take your family, your kids, go out there, support, enjoy the atmosphere. So you can sense people already start to have plans like, oh, what are we going to do? It's not going to be in school, so we're going to do this, we're going to go here. So I think it's going to be just an amazing time. So I hope everyone to enjoy and wish all the teams that participate all the best.
Well, that is to come, but definitely the biggest show in town tomorrow is the Ooredoo Doha meet, the Wanda the Diamond League. Yeah. For you, is it a plus or a negative that your Diamond League opener is in front of a home crowd? Is that more pressure, less pressure?
I don't look at it as a negative or positive thing. It's just a thing that whatever my schedule, that's the day that we're going to be ready for. It doesn't matter if it's in May or June or July. In terms of preparation, especially it's a championship year, of course, definitely it's very early of the season. And to be honest, if it wouldn't be home, I probably wouldn't jump. But again, this is home, so it doesn't matter. I know that people are going to be out there, my family, my friends, everyone out there going to be cheering for me, and always very special feeling to compete home. I mean, took my first step into the sport that I love here, and it's always very special to me.
Conditions play a part in high jump, Gianmarco. We can normally say, with some degree of certainty, that it's going to be quite nice and warm and pretty decent conditions here in Doha. When you wake up in the morning and you go, yeah, today's going to be a good day weather-wise, does that infuse you?
I would say 100% yes. I mean, the competition day, always when I woke up, whatever it's the weather, I feel, wow, this is the perfect weather. You know, I just say myself, everything is positive because I want to be positive. And of course, I'm very happy to be here in Doha because I feel like this is my, after what happened in the Olympic game, I feel like this is my second home. You know, when I came here 1 month ago, I felt like being welcome as a son. So I really want to thank everybody here, the president and the country and Mutaz and everybody, because really it's a special feeling. And I'm very happy and proud to start my season here, and I'm looking forward to do it tomorrow.
Excellent. Can I ask you just to slightly move away from the microphone?
Yeah, sorry.
Your enormously butch Italian voice is blowing the audio. We mentioned to the other athletes in our earlier press conference about how strong their individual events are. Where is men's high jump right now? Strong event, competitive event? How would you class it, Mutaz?
To be honest, high jump been really rising for the past few years. I remember before I started my diamond debut in 2011, I was always watching, and I remember watching some athletes actually winning the diamond meet with around 225, 226, 227. I was lucky enough then to be able to participate from 2011 upward, and then I remember sometimes you could jump 230, 31, 32, and they'd be like, you don't have a spot. And that just shows how much the progress been going on. And 2013, I jumped 240 in Eugene, and I remember, because I'm also a fan of the sport, looking from a fan perspective, I felt like we used to hear about, oh, they used to do this back then. They used to jump, but it's almost become more like a fiction, so nobody has done it. 2013, that happened, and then like 5 guys been doing it, and the level being just going crazy ever since. Like literally, I remember my younger brother can look at me. I can go to some meet and jump 238, and he'd be like, what happened today? Like, what happened? This is 238. This is still the second highest jump in the world. Yeah, but you jump 40 a few times. This is nothing. So this is just the kind of pressure that you have to deal with and the expectation. And with that, it's only happened because the level being really pushed high. So to answer your questions, yeah, I think it's been going really well this season. If you talk about this season, I don't know, it's still in the beginning to kick up, but I know it's going to be up there. It's a lot of guys upcoming also, like very competitive, and I think it's definitely rising, and will keep rising.
And Gianmarco, I mean, in Belgrade, it was very obvious. You podium again, but for people who are perhaps not watching high jump on a regular basis, if they'd watched that competition in Belgrade, they would have gone, "Who's this guy?" You know, there's some real talent coming through.
Yeah, Belgrade, we didn't plan at all to do the indoor season because outdoor was just very long and motivational, you know, very, very hard to afford it. But when we arrived like 2 weeks from the World Championship, we were looking at the start list, we were looking at ourselves. I see I was in a good shape. Even if I didn't jump in training, we just say, let's try. I mean, let's try to jump. And actually that technique doesn't go really well at all, but I say myself, I don't care. I'm in shape, so I can go there and I want to fight. My strongest part of my career, it's always been my mind in competition, so I say myself, go there and try to fight. And it worth it. I mean, and take a medal at World Indoor Championship in that condition, it was really good. And for answer the question you have done before, I think we have never seen an high jump Olympic Games such high level, because last year was just crazy competition. 6 people were trying to 39. It never happened in this history. So we can see sometimes the level go down, but when it counts, people can jump. So that's what it counts, and it would be amazing in Eugene, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. Do we have any questions from the floor? Means I'm going to have to carry on. I warn you. And so I will. How are you guys looking at the summer? World Championships, obviously, major focus for yourself. World Championships and Europeans, a possibility for you. We'll start with you, Mutaz. I mean, are you just 100% laser focused on Diamond League success here and then Eugene?
The main target, I think, for the summer is definitely the World Championships in Eugene. I remember back in 2019, beginning of 2019, and the press, I think some guy asked me, like, how do you feel if you're ever going to win in Doha and defend your title? You're going to be the only high jump that ever does that. And that stuck with me, and I was so focused to do that. So, and I've done it, and it feels amazing. And now that I'm trying to find something like some goal, some target to motivate myself, I'm like, you know what, maybe it's even better to be the only one that did it 3 times. So, and that kind of keep me going and trying me to find motivation. As Gianmarco said, it's not easy to find motivation after such a big year, such a big success. And sometimes you just need to take a step down and trying to set some pillars that gonna get you back again, your feet, and keep that fire still sparking. And I think I can say that I finally find 1 or 2 things that can keep me going and more. So, yeah.
Excellent. Yourself, Gianmarco, I mean, you're going to have to peak twice.
Yes, but at the same time, no. In the sense that for me, the World Championship is my 100%. I mean, we're working for it, and the European will be after it, but I'm not thinking about it at all. I think if you reach your condition for the World Championship is not going to be difficult to take it for 2 weeks more. So, as you say, it changed everything after the Olympic. Not because we won the Olympic, but because we achieved our dream. It's not because it changed your life around you, but because you were working for it since you were a kid. In my case, but also in his case, after my injury, I was like, really, you are the only one who think it's possible, and when you achieve it, then you have to change page and think how to motivate yourself for the next season. It's not that doesn't mean we are not motivated. We are really motivated. We talk a lot. We both say ourselves. We go there in Eugene and we deliver it, but it's different. We have to find a way to push ourselves. And of course, for him, win the 3 times World Championship, it's something that nobody have done. So I'm sure it's gonna jump high there. For myself, I never won the World Outdoor, so it's the last big competition that I need to win, and it's something that it pushed me. So let's see who will have what we want.
And tell me about sport in Italy right now, because Italy's always had 1 or 2 standout performers. But last year, as a nation, we won't mention the football because I'm English, but at the Olympic Games particularly, and around, Italy just seemed to be very, very strong at the moment.
Yeah, I think that last year for Italian sports it's been magical moments also because it started with you don't want to with football. And it's something that it goes, the positive vibes and everything. We keep with us. And with the track and field, we have won 5 gold medals at the Olympics, and it never happened before. Then with the volleyball, they keep going with these positive vibes, and I hope that we will bring with us and we will learn something from that, and we keep with us in the future, because we really need in track field in particular, because in the last 5, 6, 7 years we didn't win a lot, and Olympic was a magical moment, so we need to learn from it.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Right, I'm done. Any questions from the floor? Yes, we have a gentleman in the white shirt in the middle there.
Good morning, I'm from AFP News Agency. How will you feel if you share another gold medal?
It's not going to happen.
We already thought about it. It's not going to happen again. We will look at each other. We will say, okay, let's go.
Do you think you'll ever be able to stop being asked questions about the shared gold medal? Because here comes another one. I mean, I wasn't going to mention it. People have done it, and that's a really good question about would you do it again? But that moment, there are so many people in the sport who have a little association with it. For instance, I happen to know the competition technical manager who was in the referee's ear, who could say this can happen. Yeah. And everybody who is associated with it takes a huge amount of pride about it, because it was just such an extraordinary moment.
For myself, I can tell I will never go back in the past and change what we have done. I mean, it's just really something that we will forever remember as brother things, as friends things, and we both have won because we have both deserved that gold medal. And when they ask us, will you ever share again? Of course we say no, because we have done once. but it doesn't mean that we are not proud about it. I mean, I'm telling you, I will never change my past, will never ever. Even if you pay me or you guarantee me I will be the one who win that gold medal, I will have shared with him, because I know he deserves, I know I deserve, and that's the best moment of my life. I will never change anything of this moment.
Well, people are interested because we had the question here, and NRK Sport from Norway have just asked exactly the same question again. We will wait and see if that situation arises again. Yes. Hang on, could you just wait for the microphone so we can hear you on the stream? Thank you very much.
Yeah, during the Olympic Games, the final, and when the referee came to ask Mutaz, at the time it was, to see face Mutaz, what he will answer. What do you think at the time?
Honestly, I was just thinking about my competition, because he was waiting, he had his last jump 10 minutes before me. I was just missing my last attempt, so I remember myself dancing like that. I didn't really understand what's going on. When I hear Mutaz say, "Can we have to go?" I say, "Wait, something is happening." And I turn myself to the judge and I say, "Yes, you can." If we look at each other, and the rest is history,
It's funny because we didn't know it was so big. Like I know it was big for me and it was big for him because of what happened in the past, but when we literally left the stadium and we went back to the village, it was crazy. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, the moment. And then guys actually had to take the phone and show us the reaction, because before we didn't know anything. And then, ever since then, just whenever I go, people always want to talk about it. People want to tell me how it felt. When I was home, I was happy, I was sad, I was screaming, I was crying, I almost broke the TV. So I think people relate to it because the emotion that brought to them and how they lived that moment. I think so.
And what
Yeah. Definitely. I think so. It's so much of Olympic value, and there's a human part out of it as well, because people, I mean, our job is to be competitive. I've been doing this ever since. I don't know nothing more than that. So, but when it comes to certain moments, I think there's something a little bit more important to show your human side, and that I think what people really appreciate.
Yeah, well, I remember we have spent, after that moment, we have spent all the night together in the Olympic Village and the morning. And when you are in the Olympic Village, everybody's athletes, no? You know, everybody are athletes and do sports high level, so nobody's asking for picture, except if you see Roger Federer, if you see Shaquille O'Neal, or, you know, the big stars. And when we finished that competition, you remember, in that morning, every single person see us in the street walking, they were asking us for a picture, and we say, what is going on, you know? It's not common. When you walk in the village, nobody's asking for a picture, just the big legends. And that moment, everybody saw that moment, and everybody understood that it was a different moment. It will stay there for a long time. So it was just crazy.
Well, I can tell you that I was actually in Sapporo because I was working on marathon and race walks, but there was a group of us watching the television in my room, and we all went, that is going to be one of the moments, not only of these games, but of all time. So, you know, well done.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad it happened.
We have another question down the front here. Oh, microphone's coming.
It's not a question, but I wanted to mention that what happened that moment from both of the great athletes in the Olympic, they reflected the real Olympic value, and they made IOC very proud and reflecting their values to the worldwide. Thank you.
I think we can all appreciate those sentiments. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, are we all done? Well, gents, it's been fascinating sharing the stage, sharing the gold medal, sharing the memories. Good luck tomorrow on home soil, of course, and visiting these shores. Go well, enjoy the season, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.